possibly the biggest news story in New Zealand news, certainly political news at the moment, certainly the biggest story involving Judith Collins. Ryan Bridge, we won't talk about that. And I'll say it again.
Just go.
I suspect, right, and I'd place a wager on this, that he got told you couldn't talk about it. She's only come on the understanding that wouldn't be talked about. Like I said, I wouldn't accept that interview. But what are your thoughts, Joey?
So last time we were talking about nurses' wages, and apparently they're all on $110,000 and driving around in yachts. I asked my sister, who's a nurse, and she's somewhere north of 90 grand and certainly south of 100 grand. And she said, look, I get that by sticking my hands up for every extra shift that I can handle. She works fucking hard for that money. And I think certainly here the Otago Hospital, they're short-staffed. There's the hiring freeze that isn't a hiring freeze. I saw a story the other day that said the latest graduating class, only 60% got hired when it's usually 80%. So where do all those nurses go? Do they sit patiently and wait for a slot? No, they fuck off.
Hey, can I tell the people the story we heard on Friday night? So Chloe Swarbrick standing up the front talking to this group of supporters, perhaps, I guess, and they got asked, there was a question asked from the audience, and Chloe said, my best mate's retraining to be a nurse. And she said, they got asked in class the other day who will be planning on going to Australia, and 90% of the class put their hand up. Mm-hmm. So that's first-hand account. Well, I guess it's second-hand account because it goes from Chloe's mate to Chloe to us. So second-hand account of the people who are training in New Zealand right now to be nurses are not going, because we have to go. In training, whilst they're training, they're planning on leaving New Zealand to go to Australia. That's what our current system has got set up. That's the legacy of this government in the health system.
So, talking about how much nurses get paid, I want to talk about how the study is long and hard. The hours, the actual job when you get there, if you get there, the job has very long hours and is very hard. And the consequences for making a mistake at your job is someone could die, or you could lose your career. And we're talking about, what is it? A 3.5% pay rise?
Something like that.
And the government's saying no. But then Judith Collins happy to go on an interview and say, hey, look, man, nurses are valued. Do you know how you value nurses? You fucking pay them what they're worth. Whatever you can manage is still not going to be, in my opinion, what a nurse is worth. But we now have a very dangerous chain happening where we're training nurses to go overseas and then we're importing nurses from somewhere else. It's stupid and it's unsustainable. Like, the system is broken. But yet these guys can wave a wand and just across the board increase these pay rates for board chairs. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't an argument that those guys need more money. I'm just commenting purely on the ease and I guess the underhandedness of just sneaking it in there, that we're raising those wages while we tell nurses that they can't have what they think they're worth, while we're telling teachers that they're not worth what they're asking for, while we tell the police that they're not worth what they're asking for either. Yeah. And we just want to cruise on the fact that these guys want to do something good for their community, and that's great because they can do that in the absence of money.
Interesting, because what they're saying is the people like in the police and in the nursing and all that, they're because they're passionate about it, they're in it in part for the passion, yet when it comes to the board chairs, it's only about the money. So she's literally saying, we've got to pay these people what they're worth. We have to increase these board chairs because it's all about the money. It's all about competing with the private sector. Yet for nurses, it's like, well, they do it. You can't really pay a nurse what they're worth. We'll never get there. They're doing it for the love. It's like the opposite. No. Why don't you treat them both the same? Why can't the board chairs be doing it for the love? Or why can't the nurses be getting paid what the private sector would do and pay them what they're worth? You seem to be wanting to have your cake and eat it too.
And let's talk about those board chairs because, as you said, one of the things is it's not a full-time job. A lot of responsibility, a lot of budget responsibility and that sort of thing, probably. But it is not their only gig a lot of the time. Like we talk about Levy, about how he's doing another job on the side and that sort of thing. Is this something that they do a couple of days a week and then they go to their other gig? So this governance board thing that they're doing is a side hustle. Maybe it's a hobby that they're interested in. It's weird, but it is not by any means a traditional job.